The queen ant only lays eggs after its wedding flight with a drone. Through the life cycle, a perfect ant appears, the dash, and lays eggs. Nice work. You chose queen and it is correct.
They learn their duties from old ant and ready to survive in the world of work like cleaners, nurses, workers, soldiers, and trainers. How do workers ants spend their most of time?
Perfect. Searching for food is the correct choice. The ants also allow other creatures to live in their anthill to get pleasant smell, sweet juice, and playthings. As the other creature that do not live in anthills is. You're right. Mosquito is the correct answer. Which of the following is the smallest and wisest insect? On track. The ant is the correct answer. Which of the following ants live in a separate barracks? Well reasoned. Worker ants is the correct choice. The homes of ants are called as. Smart move. Anthills is an accurate answer. And if we ran around the tree, he went the other way. This line suggests that the squirrel is. Bravo! Mischievous is the answer. What kind of sentence is the sentence below? I can see that you have been laughing a lot. Good job. Your answer statement works well here. Which of the following is not a characteristic of the ant mentioned in the lesson? You got it. Your choice laziness is right. The squirrel has an overcoat of gray. In which season can an overcoat be worn? Exactly. Winter makes sense and it is right choice. What kind of sentence is the sentence below? Is anybody going home after school? Great thinking. Question is the right choice. The suggestion of appointing counselors was given in reply to dash question. Good thinking. Second is the right answer. Which kind of sentence is the sentence below? Wash your hands before dinner. Excellent choice. Command is the right answer. Wore a question mark for tail. What does the word war mean here? Solid response. Has-have is a valid choice. What are the things that we can learn from this tiny teacher? Well picked. Hard work is the correct answer. As per the hermit, the most important time in our life is dash. Sharp thinking. Now is the right choice. Which of the following is a lesson humans can learn from ants? Excellent. Hard work and teamwork is a brilliant choice. The dash is the mother of the entire population of the colony. Valid point. Queen is true. To teach the dash to an elephant is the most difficult thing? Well done. Master Cole is the right choice. What work the hermit was doing when the king reached his hut? Correct response. Digging the ground is the most accurate answer. Which quality of ants is highlighted the most in the lesson? Clear logic. Your choice discipline is sound and 100% true. Which of the following adjectives is not true for the ants? You chose lazy, and it is correct. How long does it take for a grub to become a complete ant? How? Strong choice. 5 to 6 weeks is the right answer. How long does the queen ant live according to the lesson. Nice selection. 15 years is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following lives in anthills along with ants? Great job. Greenfly is the accurate answer. Ants live and work together in harmony. Their life is dash. Right again. Peaceful is a valid answer. Which of the following is not the synonym for chamber? Correct. Theater is the right answer. The king covered the wound of bearded man with his dash. Nicely done. Handkerchief is a solid answer. The king wanted to know the answers of dash questions. Right choice. 3 is the best answer. Dash is the commonest, smallest, but the wisest insect. Smart pick. Ant is the correct choice. How long it takes for an egg to become a perfect ant? Solid response. 5-6 weeks is a valid choice. What is the tiny teacher referred to in the lesson? Good thinking. An ant is the right answer. Who is the tiny teacher talking about in this lesson? You got it. Your choice, the ants, is right. Name the smallest and the wisest insect you have seen. Well reasoned. Ant is the correct choice. In which season ants are most likely to enter homes? Right again. August, September is a valid answer. Ants use their dash to communicate with other ants. Nice selection. Feelers is the correct and valid answer. What is the next stage after the ants become grubs? B. Smart move. Grubs become cocoons is an accurate answer. Completed cocoons break and perfect dash appear. Excellent. Ants is a brilliant choice. One thing we learn from the life of an ant is dash. Well picked. Discipline is the correct answer. Ants are the dash, smallest and commonest insect. Correct response. Wisest is the most accurate answer. How much time do grubs take for becoming cocoons? Good job.
Yeah.
Answer 2 or 3 weeks works well here. Name some other creatures that lives in anthills. Nice work. You chose greenfly and it is correct. Which is the queen ant's main role in the colony? Or? Exactly. Laying eggs makes sense and it is right choice. The words tease and play used in the poem are. Bravo. Verb is the answer. Each and does it works intelligently and bravely. Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true. When do queen ants do nothing except laying eggs? You're right. After biting of wings is the correct answer. To communicate with other ants, an ant uses its. Smart pick. Feelers is the correct choice. What do ants use to communicate with each other? Strong choice. Touch and smell is the right answer. An ant can lift a dash times its own body weight. On track. 20 is the correct answer. Ants allow other creatures to live in anthill. Great thinking. True is the right choice. ants have hundreds of rooms, also known as dash. Valid point. Passages is true. Kari lived under a dashi in the author's house. Correct. Thatched roof is the right answer. Ants communicate with each other using their. Well done. Antennae is the right choice. Ants live in comfortable homes called as dash. Sharp thinking. Nests is the right choice. The other insects that visit anthill are dash. Excellent choice. Greenfly is the right answer. Man wonders that the smallest creature is the. Nicely done. Wisest is a solid answer. What does the queen ant do in the ant colony? Right choice. Lays eggs is the best answer. Cry could hear the baby cry all night long.
You chose verb, and it is correct.
Which is the smallest and the wisest insect? Great job. Ant is the accurate answer. The shape of the squirrel's tail is like an. Perfect. Interrogation mark is the correct choice. The ants allow other dash to live with them. Right again. Creatures is a valid answer. The dash ants feed and clean the baby ants. You're right. Worker is the correct answer. An ant uses its dash to talk to other ants. Smart pick. Feelers is the correct choice. What do ants train their young ones to do?
Well picked. Find food and work is the correct answer.
People have watched their daily behavior. Solid response. Both minutely and closely is a valid choice. We learn the lesson from the tiny teacher. Smart move. All of the above is an accurate answer. Complete it. Egg hatch and dash comes out.
Nice selection. Grubs is the correct and valid answer.
What is the color of the commonest ants? Correct response. Black is the most accurate answer. The secret of ants' peaceful life is dash. Good thinking. Sharing work is the right answer. Who is treated as cow in the ants' colony?
Strong choice. Greenfly is the right answer.
How many rooms are there in an anthill? Excellent choice. 100 of little rooms is the right answer. The queen ant has a lifespan of nearly. You got it. Your choice 15 years is right. Which insect is known as the ant's cow? Exactly. Greenfly makes sense and it is right choice. Finally, the king decided to meet Dash. Well reasoned. Hermit is the correct choice. What do ants store for the rainy days? Right choice. Food grains is the best answer. The ants greet each other by touching. Valid point. The antennae is true. Who is the tiny teacher in this story? Perfect. Ant is the correct choice. The king brought Dash for bearded man. Bravo. Fresh water is the answer. The young ones of ants are called Dash. Great thinking. Grubs is the right choice. When do queen ants bit off its wings? Nice work. You chose after wedding flight, and it is correct. Quickly Tom ran quickly to the swings. Great job. Adverb is the accurate answer. The newborn young ants are called as? Correct. Grub is the right answer. The commands learnt by Kari were dash. Sharp thinking. Dat and Molly is the right choice. Does the ants fight with each other?
Good job. Your answer never works well here.
In which category do ants fall into? You chose none of the above. And it is correct. Ants share their work dash and dash. Nicely done. Intelligently and bravely is a solid answer. The wounded man came to attack dash. On track. The king is the correct answer. Others that live in the anthill are. Excellent. All of the above is a brilliant choice. Ants keep some creators in ant hill. Well done. All of the above is the right choice. The queen ant lives for about dash. Clear logic? Your choice 15 years is sound and 100% true. What are the names of their rooms? Bravo. Passages is the answer. When the eggs hatch then comes out. Valid point. Grubs is true. The jobs of workers needs first. Smart move. Training is an accurate answer. To become a perfect and it takes. Correct response. 2 or 3 weeks is the most accurate answer. How many types of ants are there? You got it? Your choice 2 is right. What kind of homes do ants build? Nice work. You chose anthills, and it is correct. And ants' feelers are also known as? Solid response. Antennae is a valid choice. What is the male ant also called? Exactly. Drone makes sense, and it is right choice. Who wrote the 3 questions? Great thinking. Leo Tolstoy is the right choice. One of them is not a type of ant. Well done. King is the right choice. Blue, did you see the blue pencil? You chose adjective, and it is correct. Where did the soldier's ant live? Nice selection. Barracks is the correct and valid answer. What is like milk for the ants? Nicely done. Honeydew is a solid answer. An ant's home is called as dash. Good thinking. Anthill is the right answer. Protective food protect us from. Excellent. Infections and diseases is a brilliant choice. The squirrel sat up straight too. Right choice. Eat nuts is the best answer. The ants keep dash for honeydew. You're right. Greenfly is the correct answer. What work do the worker ants do? Correct. Search for food is the right answer. How many stomachs do ants have? Well reasoned. 2 is the correct choice. The worker ants help the grubs. Great job. All of the above is the accurate answer. Worker ants spend time in dash. Strong choice. Collecting food is the right answer. The ants use their feelers too. Right again. Talk and greet is a valid answer. Ants communicate through dash. Excellent choice. Feelers is the right answer. What are the baby ants called? On track. Grubs is the correct answer. The home of ants is called as? Clear logic. Your choice nests and anthill is sound and 100% true. An ant uses its antennae to? Smart pick. Talk is the correct choice. The new ants are trained for? Sharp thinking. 1 week is the right choice. The antonym of faithful is? Perfect. Disloyal is the correct choice. Who fed and cleaned the grubs? Good job. Your answer workers works well here. The ants are known for their? Well picked. Discipline is the correct answer. How can we get rid of ants? Strong choice. All of the above is the right answer. Where do soldiers' ants live? Excellent. Barrack is a brilliant choice. What is the size of an ant? You chose 0.75 to 52 Manev, and it is correct. The most commonest answer. Valid point. Red ants is true. The synonym of forgive is? Good thinking. Pardon is the right answer. Curry saved a boy from dash. Exactly. Drowning makes sense and it is right choice. Ants talk by touching dash. Correct response. Feelers is the most accurate answer. The dash is the ant's cow. You got it. Your choice green fly is right. Ant uses their antennae to? Great job. Talk is the accurate answer. Ants live in nests or dash. Nice work. You chose anthills and it is correct. Ants are a dash creature. Excellent choice. Hardworking. Intelligent, loyal is the right answer. Storehouses are used for? Smart move. Store food is an accurate answer. Baby ants are called dash. Well picked. Grubs is the correct answer. Following is an ant's cow. Well reasoned. Greenfly is the correct choice. Ants can be kept as pets. Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true. The queen ant lives for? Good job. Your answer 15 years works well here. Who is our tiny teacher? Right choice. Ant is the best answer. The dash ant lays eggs? Correct. Queen ant is the right answer. Ants are small in size. Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer. The eggs are guarded by? Great thinking. Soldiers is the right choice. Cathy Cat was sleeping. Nicely done. Noun is a solid answer. Young ants are known as? Perfect. Grubs is the correct choice. Each ant does its work? Bravo. Intelligently and bravely is the answer. Synonym of feeler is? Smart pick. Antennae is the correct choice. Ant's life is very dash. You're right. Peaceful is the correct answer. An ant's life is dash. On track, peaceful is the correct answer. The meaning of seldom. Sharp thinking. Rarely is the right choice. Who guards the grubs? Well done. Soldiers is the right choice. The meaning of wisest. Right again. Most intelligent is a valid answer. Queen lives for dash. Solid response. 15 years is a valid choice. Who is the ant's cow? Smart pick. Green fly is the correct choice. The meaning of tiny? You're right. Big is the correct answer. Where do ants live? Smart move. Anthills is an accurate answer. The ants live in. Well done. Anthill is the right choice. Soldiers live in. Sharp thinking. Burrows is the right choice. Barrack is dash. Exactly. Room for soldier makes sense, and it is right choice. Answer great. On track. Teachers is the correct answer. An ant is dash. Great thinking. Smallest, commonest, wisest insect is the right choice. Grubs are dash. Right choice. Young ants is the best answer. Come into. Excellent. Inherit is a brilliant choice. Hold up. Nicely done. Rob is a solid answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Correct response. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the most accurate answer.